welcome back to Smart Woman Show. We are getting really close to wrapping up the series, and it was on my vision board to have this beautiful woman, Sarah Pendrick, on our show today, and I'm super excited because guess what? I have just been going through, Sarah, and I know you know all about this, transformation. Like, get in front of the trainings, get in front of the coachings that are going to help you move to your next level that's way up here, out of the realm that you've ever participated in before, and like make things happen. So what I've really realized in that, and I'm hoping that you can touch it, I know you can do it, because this is who you are. It's like in that transformation, life is enrollment. Enrolling yourself in this transformation, enrolling in those around you in this transformation. And I'd love to hear, because you have a massive community. Women flock to you, and it's because of your beautiful energy, your beautiful heart, and your transformed, way of being. Living in a transformed world is what you're doing, right? And you've created that. So how do we enroll those around us to transform alongside of us?
So life is a game of enrollment. You're constantly enrolling yourself into things, people in your life, your family, your friends, strangers, people that you meet on the street, and you're never truly transformed. It's always transforming. So there's always another level. There's always an up level. And it's, like I said, the game of life is enrollment, enrolling people into your vision, enrolling people into your programs, your events, what you want to create in the world. And for me, the best way, there's no best, but the way that I get to enroll people into my vision of what I want to create for this world is in who I be. And also enrolling other people into the world of who do you get to be? What is your vision for this world? And the way that I do it is getting to know people and connecting with them, because especially with women, and I see it with so many men and just human beings in general, as different as we are, we're all very much the same. And we want to be seen and heard.
I'm laughing because I just can't eat the serendipity of this. I have sourced you on this show, and there is a common thread. You don't know this, but I know this because I've been doing the interviews. There is a common thread, and I just said this with Carrie Murphy. I don't know, at this point, if the people have seen this show or not yet, the episode or not yet with Carrie Murphy. It's a common thread of be.
Yeah.
Who we get to be, who we get to show up as. And so I'm laughing because if you end up watching this, Sarah, you're going to find that, oh my gosh, this is so on point. So, okay. So
I just got chills. I saw you laughing. I'm like, wow, I can't wait to hear what she's laughing about. And then I see your faith sign in the background. When you said that, it is who we get to be, like you said.
We get to be. So I get to be, and I say this every single day, I get to be confident, powerful, and loving. And I would love to hear who you get to be. Who do you get to be every day?
I get to be powerful, fun, and free.
Oh, yes. I love it.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing.
True leaders. Okay, so let's go into leadership, because these are the types of conversations that leaders have. Okay, so how do you lead yourself every day? Because there, as Carrie Murphy and I just talked about a minute ago in another interview, there's versions of ourselves, and we sometimes step into our sucky version of ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that, but we get to choose to be something else. So you get to be confident, powerful, and loving, and joyful, and all these things. But like, how do you lead a team every day? Because your team's big.
Well, I will constantly be enrolling more amazing leaders and people onto my team. And I'm really grateful to have a team, and it changes everything for me. And the way that I lead the team is I also empower them to be leaders and step into their missions and as to why that they're on my team or on other people's teams, or what their vision for the world is. And for me, it's like you said, life is a journey, and there's so many different seasons that we're in. And the biggest shift for me, and it's a small one, is just a mindset and realizing, like you said, that everything is a choice. So you could wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and you can continue to have your day be like that and be unenrolling everyone that you meet into your vision, into your life, because of who you are not being. So it's for me just realizing, and it's so powerful, but so simple, is just that shift.
The shift. It's all about the shift. It's funny. Ed Milet said something similar to that in his interview. He said, you're either enrolling someone, or he didn't say unenrolling, but what you just said, it's like, you're either enrolling someone or you're unenrolling them, and they're enrolling you. That's what he said. You're either enrolling someone or they're enrolling you. Like, it's one or the other.
Yeah. Like, they're enrolling you into whatever story that they're telling, or they're enrolling you into going away from the vision that you have for the world. So that's so perfectly, yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. Or even just like walking into a space, right? It's like someone either enrolls you in taking on their energy, or you enroll them on taking on your energy, and vice versa. So that's so true. So here's what I loved about what you just said. I empower people to make decisions on my team because they know the answer to it. And it's like, we forget, like, and again, like you said, we're all the same. There's not a lot of difference. Like, you and I were the same. We're all hardwired the same way.
Yeah.
And it's like, people are capable. Right? So how do we, because a lot of the women watching this are entrepreneurs, and they have that like controlling way, and that's how things get done. Like, you see the problem, you fix it before it happens, you get things done, and you tend to isolate yourself a little bit, which I want to ask you about. I want to talk about isolation, but I want you to zero in on, like, when you're that type of person, you're just used to getting stuff done. How do you allow people to be capable?
Yeah. So, gosh, like, I always love talking about the journey and the different seasons, because as you were saying that, I'm flashing back to when I was starting Girl Talk, and I'm like, I want it to be this way. It gets to be this way. Oh my gosh, this is going to take too long. So I'm going to do it. And it's a whole another game of energy. And, really, really embracing trust that, yeah, you could burn out and you could get everything done, and maybe you could do it faster, but what's that going to take? What's gonna happen if you are constantly like in this controlling mindset, like, have to get it done in this way? What are you missing out on?
What are you missing out on?
Yeah, what do you miss out on when you lead in that way? And the thing that's so great, especially with isolation, because female entrepreneurship can feel so lonely, is when you're in that control state of mind, you're pushing people away, you're not enrolling them into your vision, and then you're feeling more alone. So, there's different projects that I really want to have all my hands on. Like, I'm like, hey, I want to be at the front of this. I'm really passionate about it. I get to be here. And then there's other ones where you get to trust and you get to watch other magic, and you get to create space and more energy for other areas of your life.
Yes, girlfriend, we speak the same language. And here's another thing. It's like, what are you missing out on? And what is the price that other people have to pay?
Oh, yeah.
Because you want to isolate, and you want to be judgy, and you want to be cranky pants and like bulldozing.
Yeah.
What price are the people around you paying? Like, what price do your sisters or your brothers pay, or your parents or your husband or your wife, if you're a man watching this? It's the ripple effect. So I can speak to this, and I think you can too, really naturally, because I am an isolator. Like, I will isolate myself, and sometimes I don't even know I'm doing it, but I just want to bring to light that that's a danger zone for an entrepreneur, no matter how effective you think you're being. And I'd love if you could shed light on how to, number one, acknowledge you're isolating yourself. Like, what are some kind of the key factors of that, and how to get out?
So, we get to be aware of it. Like you said, you can go down this road where maybe when you're in it, you're not realizing that you're isolating, but the feelings that you're feeling. You're feeling alone. You're telling yourself a story that this is so hard. And, entrepreneurship is hard, but it's a choice, right? We could go down that road and keep telling that story. Like, this is so hard. I have no one that understands. Oh my gosh, looping the whole story. So what we get to do is step into that awareness when we're feeling extremely isolated. When we start telling ourselves, this is really hard, nobody understands. Those key thoughts are what you look for to realize, like, oh wow, I'm not connected right now.
Yeah.
I'm isolating myself. If I wasn't isolating myself, I wouldn't be feeling like this, because yes, it gets to be hard. It's hard. But if you had someone that you're talking to, it's funny how when we connect and we share stories, it doesn't seem as hard. So for me, the minute that I'm about to tell myself a story that this is so hard, when's it going to happen? It's never ending. I'm like,
Mhm.
all right, that's a key. That's a sign that I'm isolating.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And to
love
get
it.
out of that is really just like reach out and be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable. Yes. Vulnerability is hard for me. But I mean, I love it when I'm being vulnerable. Like, I love these interviews because I can go into a natural state of vulnerability. That's why I really love doing these, and I get to show my heart and talk about things that matter. And I think that's why a lot of the experts love doing them too, because you get to be yourself. But sometimes when we're being entrepreneurs and we're being the smart, successful woman, it's like hammer time all the time. And what I love about you, Sarah, is your shift in your language that I'm hearing. It's like, I don't have to, I don't need to, I get to.
Right.
Like, this gets to be hard.
Yeah, exactly. All those little shifts that I had mentioned earlier, just even our words, it shifts everything. Like if you're like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I get to, and we get to, and we get to celebrate it and be grateful. And it gets to be hard. And that's amazing because in the end, it's worth it. And so just those little shifts of mindset and shift of language has been key for me in everything. And the vulnerability, like I used to get like the vulnerability hangovers. So I had a season of where I was not vulnerable. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to stretch myself a little bit. I'm going to put myself out there. And it's always worth it. So again, supporting yourself, like this feels like, ugh, but you get to do it and then you get to celebrate how it really feels after. And a big thing for me, especially, you know, we're always up leveling, always transforming, like we talked about, is having those people around you that support you, and you get to experiment with them. I have a friend right now that's letting me experiment with her because I'm like a little bit of a people pleaser.
Okay.
So I get to be direct and come from a loving place. And so I get to experiment with her on that and see how she responds to it. And people respect directness. So I've been telling myself a story. I can't be direct. It's either like I'm super direct and like this is it, or I'm on the other end. I'm getting to work to the middle of that.
And so you're practicing that. And that is so beautiful because, you know, just like those versions of ourselves that we get to fall in and out of.
Yeah.
I mean, we're human. We get to love ourselves through that. And I love that you're like, no, I get to be direct, but I also get to still be really true to my authentic self, which is supportive and loving and kind. And yes, of course I'll help you.
Of course.
Yeah. Which is why your business is where it's at now.
Yeah. The shift again is coming from a place of directness and honesty, because that's actually giving that person love rather than telling them something, because you don't want to hurt their feelings in the moment, but in the end, you're really ultimately going to be hurting their feelings because you're not being completely honest. So it's just those shifts that we get to make in our thinking and the way that we perceive a certain way of being.
So in this way of being and in your community, I mean, this massive sisterhood you've created, you have a really big community, Sarah, and you can tell they love and adore you. Like everyone just genuine. I do. You know, and I'm just getting to know you now. Like I love and adore you. You're just so real.
Thank you.
And I would love to know, like with Girl Talk, how do you love everyone?
Such a good question. It doesn't look the same. You get to love everyone. You get to send people love. You get to say no, and you get to be honest. And so you come from a place of love. Like, I love everyone in my community. I'm so grateful. Like, I'm here speaking with you today. I have the opportunity that I have and the platform that I have because of my community. So I get to love everyone, and it doesn't have to look the exact same way, because each person needs a different type of support, and they also need a different type of communication. Though we're all the same, deep down, we need to be seen and heard and understood. The process of how we're seen and heard is different for everyone. So you get to explore that. And what I mentioned earlier is learning what people's visions are and what they really want for the world. And that's the way that you get to decide, how can I best love them?
Yeah.
By getting to know them.
Yeah, because we get to love everyone.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look the same, so we don't have to put pressure on ourselves about it.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh my goodness, a transformed world. I love it. So Girl Talk Live is actually coming up soon, right?
Yeah, it'll be at the end of summer.
End of summer. Okay, this is so exciting. So Sarah doesn't usually do this, but because she's so loving and kind, she actually has given me a promo code to offer you a discount to her event. So the promo code is the Smart Woman, of course. We'll drop it down here. Just link up the Smart Woman. And, you know, Sarah, if you just leave these guys with one thing, you know, because I mean, the woman who's here, she's already maybe making six figures, maybe even like really high six figures. She's hungry for more, but she's getting a little bit complacent in her messaging and her vision. You know, what do you recommend to keep leveling up? Because at the very beginning of this, you said, you know, we're never transformed. We're constantly transforming, which kind of goes along the same thing. Like we've never arrived. We're always on a journey, right? So how do you take that woman who's already doing it? She's in the thick of it, but she's like, oh yeah, I'm making, you know, 400,000 a year. Like, this is good.
I love
How
that.
does she next level?
Well, they get to come to the Girl Talk event because it's all about this and just connecting. And for me, when I am feeling complacent or I'm feeling short, it wasn't that long ago. Again, as we're transforming, as we're growing, so is our message, and so are we as a person, which goes into our businesses and our brands. And we get to do that. And I feel like the complacement comes from feeling like, oh, how do I step into this new version of myself? Oh, that seems scary, so I'm going to stay where I am now. So it's, again, just the mindset of that you get to keep changing and bringing your community, your employees, whoever it is with you, and knowing that everyone goes through this. And again, it's not isolating and getting out there. And when I'm feeling any time like this, which happens a lot, we're always going to get to this place of, oh, we could stay here or we could go up here. And that's going to feel even better, because really, if you stay here in complacement zone, you're going to end up not feeling fulfilled because your soul, your body is like screaming for more. You're like, but I'm doing good. And there's such a big gap between good and great that we get to be great. So it's just that reminder. And for me, I step out, and even in interviews like this, when we get off this, I'm going to feel so fulfilled because of this conversation, because of this connection. So it's get out and connect with someone.
Yeah. Get out and connect. Get off your phone.
Yeah. Get out and connect. And it really does make a huge difference. Go to an event, have a conversation, go offer to help someone. When you're from a place of love, you're like, yeah, you know, I could stay where I am, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to up level. Everyone has like a bigger vision deep inside you somewhere.
Yeah.
You might think you're complacent, but you really get to do more.
I call it itching from the inside out.
Yeah.
You know, when you like scratch a mosquito bite so hard that it starts to bleed.
Yeah. You're like, go away, but there's more.
Exactly. Girlfriends, I absolutely love you. I've enjoyed connecting with you. I can't wait to go to your events.
Yes.
And I'm going to drop the link down here one more time because it's discounted. Anytime you can get an event ticket, I know you never do that. And like anytime you can get an event ticket for like less, do it. Like that's your call right there. Great. So I love you so much.
I love you.
Talk
Thank
to you soon, and I'll see you at
Talk
the
to you soon. Bye.
Bye.